Ooh, what's up, Internet? We have a spoiler chat for episode 4, Cornered, of The Bad Batch Season 1. My name is Nerdy.
And I'm Clever.
We get nerdy nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
Yeah. That is right. The Bad Batch have landed on a planet called Pintoro.
Yep.
And they need stuff.
Yep. It's, I don't know, seemed a lot like Coruscant or something, but maybe that's just...
Really? I felt like when they first flew in, it looked more like Naboo.
Yeah, kind of.
The architecture looked more like Naboo.
Yeah, I guess. I just mean more so like the sky, like highway things, but I guess that's kind of everywhere. That's not like a...
Well, this is full spoilers, so we can say that like this episode has a high-speed speeder chase in the skies.
Yeah.
So I feel like that comparison really comes from the homage to Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the fact, and you brought it up you immediately after we stopped watching the episode, that like Fennec Shand, from like a silhouette standpoint, is very reminiscent of Zam Wesell.
Yeah, I just like it, I've
Zam Wesell
always
is the,
felt that way. Oh, the assassin from Attack
changeling.
of the Clones.
Yeah.
I like. I don't know why that like sticks in my head so hard, but then they did this like speeder chase, and I was like, oh wow, I really like feel this comparison right now. And
within the movies, because you haven't seen Clone Wars, but within the movies, within what you have seen of Star Wars, those are the only two female assassins that you've met.
Yeah, and
right?
They have similar aesthetics.
Yeah, I think it's the harsh visor line.
Yeah,
the like
sure.
rounded dome with the harsh visor line. This episode was fun.
Yeah.
It's also kind of pointing out the dangers of being on the lam with a child.
On the lam?
Yeah, on the lam is a term for when you are like running from the police, right?
Oh. Okay.
So the Bad Batch are on the lam from the Empire.
Yeah.
And so you kind of run into the situation where Omega wants to explore the galaxy.
Yeah.
And the Bad Batch want to survive.
Yeah.
And so Omega kind of gets what she wants because the Bad Batch are out of supplies. They can't go somewhere desolate. They have to go somewhere where they can get fuel. They can get food. Wrecker needs to eat. He's a hungry boy.
He's a big boy.
And so they land on a planet and are immediately betrayed by Celestin.
Yeah, they give him some money and be like, don't tell anybody. And he walks away and then
immediately tells someone.
Ming-Na-Wen.
What's funny is they pay him, and then at the end of the episode, he's like, you haven't paid. And I was like, they did give you money.
No. He said, she hasn't paid me yet. Because the Ming-Na-Wen was like, don't let them leave. Me yet.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That made more... I heard you haven't paid, and I was like...
You're like, no.
I'm pretty sure they did.
They did. Yeah. No, he
she hasn't paid. Interesting. I missed that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then they go into town. Or no, Echo and Tech have to fix the ship again.
So they're fixing the ship, but
Wrecker and Tech.
They're scrambling the code for the ship.
Yeah, which is hilarious to me because it's like, yeah, but it still looks like the ship.
It still looks like the ship, but it won't be like automatically picked up by like checkpoints or
I know,
something.
But Star Wars has this thing where they have all of these like one-of-a-kind modified ships, and they're like, well, let's change the numbers on them. And you're like, yeah, but it's still the one-of-a-kind modified ship.
Oh, is it one of a kind? It looks like an Imperial...
They've modified it themselves, right? So it looks slightly different from all the other ones.
Yeah, it was like that. Looks like the Emperor ship, but like it does
shuttle.
it different. Yeah. Okay, I did not realize that it was one of a kind, so then that definitely makes less sense, because I was like, oh, okay, they're going to because if everybody, like, if your vehicle has like a chip in it and you like go through like the what's the like paid freeway, the toll road, like they'll know, and so I was like, okay, so you're basically like changing your license plate or like
sure, but the Celestin literally calls Fennec Shand and is like, hey, I heard you were looking for that modified shuttle thing.
That's true.
And she's immediately there.
Yeah,
also,
their ship is
her
very
ability
easy.
to be where I was like, how the hell did she find
she
them?
She traveled at light speed and showed up in 5 minutes. She does not waste time.
She got to that planet and got to the market that they were in
by
the time they like got to the store.
Yeah. All they were doing was walking in to get supplies.
To sell things to get money for supplies.
Sorry, yeah.
Which is important because they sold Echo.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. I was like, I don't like this.
I thought it was hilarious. I love that
I'm worth more than 2,000.
I love though that they looked at him and they were like, you have to wear a mask, dude. Like you because he has been heavily modified. He is more machine than man, as they've said.
He's paler than I am.
Yeah, which is hard to do.
I know.
That is an accomplishment.
Yeah.
There's a lot of foundation on her right now so that we can actually have her on camera.
Otherwise, the lights just reflect off. It's bad.
Yeah, otherwise we actually damage the sensor chip inside that reads the light. It's too much.
The poor camera's like, I can't. Okay, all right. That's
but enough. They sold Echo, which makes sense, and like it's a good strategy, but like I just felt Echo spent so long in captivity. I just felt so bad for him.
Yeah, I felt bad, but obviously it was fine. It wasn't like he was in any danger.
No, you know what? It's not fine. You want to know why it's not fine? That poor shopkeeper. That shopkeeper did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
And the Bad Batch stole his credits by selling him a lie, and then they stole his robots.
Yeah.
The Bad Batch. Here's a thing that this show is doing that I find a little weird is. The Bad Batch are like, we're going to survive at all costs.
Mm-hmm. Including screwing over random shopkeep owners.
But part of that is that I'm like, and we talked about this last week with the stormtroopers that they were killing. And I was like, well, they're not in control themselves. This time I'm like, this dude is legitimately innocent.
Yeah.
Like, this dude is legitimately innocent.
He's done nothing wrong.
I'm like, I don't... at all costs gets a little weird when you're starting to like seemingly only harm people who aren't guilty.
Yeah.
Like the only people the Bad Batch have wronged since leaving the Empire are people who have not done anything to them.
Yeah.
Like if they had screwed over the Celestin who had betrayed them, like there's a less gray moral question there. I'm like, okay, he betrayed you, you betrayed him, whatever. That poor shopkeeper deserved none of what happened to him.
Yeah.
It's not even like he was charging exorbitant prices. Like, he was like, I don't want to buy this. I have no reason to, like, this is useless to me.
He's like, you can sell it on the black market.
Yeah, he's like, he is such an upstanding person. He's like, I only deal in legal stuff, dude. Like, get off me. And the Bad Batch are like, oh, you're just a normal shopkeeper going about your day? Well, what if we lie to you and steal all of your stuff?
Yeah, it was a bit weird. I hope that the droids went back to him and everyone recovered from the situation.
He's still out 3,000 credits.
Yeah. That's money.
I feel like Clone Wars, the thing that Clone Wars always did was that it like and Rebels really did a lot of was justify who was being harmed. Mm-hmm. And like, Clone Wars obviously mostly did it by having the majority of the enemies be droids, so like whatever, they're just metal. And then Rebels did it by like really having the Rebels be on the back rope against an Empire that had fully taken control. The Stormtroopers were Stormtroopers at that point, not clones with the chips.
But right now we are not there.
And I here's the thing: this is a show that is taking place at a very, very difficult time for the galaxy. For the galaxy.
For that.
For the galaxy, and so there are really hard gray lines. But this show is also ostensibly for kids. And so that's where it gets complicated for me, is like, what lesson are we teaching when it doesn't, when like, I understand the moral difference, but I'm 30 and I'm still talking about Star Wars on the internet, so like, I don't know.
You're
it's
almost
fine.
30.
Almost 30, and yeah. But here, I don't know. I noticed it again. I was like, oh, this is a weird, the Bad Batch are not the good guys?
Yeah.
They're not the bad guys, but they're not the good guys.
Yeah.
And maybe that is the story we're telling, but like they're not, the show wants it to be like, look at how they got out of this one, and I'm kind of like...
Well, and there were like people who like got seriously injured or died in the speeder chase.
Yeah, but that is on Fennec Shand. I don't think that is on them.
No, yes.
They had to save Omega from an assassin, from a literal assassin. Like but that's the difference, right? Like everything that happened in that situation is the responsibility of the instigator of the kidnapping of the child. I don't fault Hunter for retrieving the child who was kidnapped, and that there was casualty in that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, that is, like, a better way to present kind of what problem? I don't know what the word is there, but like situation where like
I agree. That is a better way for the Bad Batch to interact with stuff like this than the shopkeeper who just didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
And gets royally screwed over for no reason.
Yeah.
And like what's extra weird about it is that they steal the droids because they need the droids to fix the ship, but they only need to fix the ship because they broke the ship to change the code.
Yeah.
So like the story was written in a way. The story was written to get to this point. It wasn't like, oh no, how are we going to get out of this one? It was like, we got ourselves into this, and now how we're going to get out of it is we're going to invent the fact that Tech can't do it and that he needs droids.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird that the show... I get that the show happens in a grayer time in the galaxy.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it is a kids Disney show, and that is something to keep in mind. You need to know who your audience is.
Yeah.
And
especially with Omega as the point of view character for everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was like my biggest thing with the episode. Other than that, like there wasn't...
Fennec Shen is great. Having Ming-Na Wen back.
Fennec Shen, great.
She sounds good. It was a great model.
Yeah.
She kicked butt. I love that Fennec Shen took down Hunter and then Wrecker so easily.
Oh, yeah. No problem. Yeah. I was like, jeez.
Because here's the thing, like, I thought when we saw her in the trailer, and I got so excited, like, literally jumped out of my chair, I thought she would be in one episode. I thought she'd be, like, or, like, a 2-episode cameo or whatever.
Yeah, but it seems as though she's going to be back at least once, maybe several times throughout the series, which is going to be fun.
Well, and what they did really successfully this episode was set her up as a solid antagonist for the Bad Batch. Because what they haven't really showed us in the show so far is who could possibly take them down. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, Crosshair can fight them, but they can get around Crosshair. Mm-hmm. You know, Omega shot Crosshair, right? So, like, I don't think Crosshair alone can do it. Crosshair's team is maybe good enough, but also, like, his team is kind of meaningless to us right now. The best antagonist for the Bad Batch at the moment is the only antagonist we've actually seen successfully beat them at anything. And so I feel like what they did with Fennec Shan this episode was really awesome, because now I'm like, oh, there is someone who can... They're not the Avengers going around, you know, needing a literal god to take them down. They're warriors, and like there are better warriors, and that makes them more interesting. Yeah. It's a little uninteresting when your heroes can beat everybody else, because there's no threat, right? And now there's like, oh, there is someone on their butts here.
Yeah. They this episode I think like lit a fire under their ass in that sense, which is fun to see.
100%.
Because she's definitely gonna be back.
Oh yeah. And she should be. Ming-Na Wen is a treasure. Mm-hmm. Like, truly. Yeah. Oh, God. I love Fennec Shan. This character, I'm so glad, so glad she didn't die in that episode of Mandalorian. Yeah, because she is, like, she's just such a joy in Season 2. Mm-hmm. And here, like, I'm like, oh, Fennec Shan, this is a great addition to this part of the story, because there are a lot of original trilogy characters they could have pulled for this, for that, like, nostalgia hit. There are a lot of different characters who could have fit this role, but Fennec Shan is one who really isn't complicated with the timeline. It doesn't retcon anything, like, and it gets people like me who love her Mandalorian so excited to see her here. I think this was a really solid pull, and I think the way they handled her in this episode was just fantastic, really. Yeah, I loved it. How do we feel about Omega running off after the dog?
She's a kid. I was like, yeah,
I know, but she's also like, at the end of last episode, she like was the kid who managed to like get the thing back from the dragon.
Yeah, but she's also literally said she spent her whole life on Kamino, like, doing nothing, right? Like, she's
dumb. Like, she knows she's being hunted. Like, she knows they're in danger.
Yeah, and so
not even like
sees
Hunter.
Like, puppy. She sees a puppy. She goes over and sees the puppy, and then the puppy steals her doll. So she tries to go get it back. I don't know. I feel like I would have done that as a kid. Dogs are very distracting.
You were never on the lam, though.
No, but
so much so that you don't even know. You've never heard on the lam until now.
True, but also, like, I don't think Omega has ever been in any, like, real danger.
What?
No. I mean, like, she, like, as a kid growing
Every
up, like,
episode.
No.
She was almost murdered by a Nexu 2 episodes ago. She was almost murdered by a dragon last episode.
But then she wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, it all worked out fine. And so Omega has learned right now that even things are scary, they're all gonna work out fine, and it's okay. Well, no, I mean, it
no,
has.
I hear what you're saying.
Like,
I hear what you're saying.
Like, there have not really been any real consequences to her wanting to explore or going off and doing her own thing. She always succeeds in either with herself or somebody saves her.
Yeah, that's fair.
And, you know, she has not had to feel that consequence. And so, yeah, right now she still has that childlike innocence of everything's going to be okay and I'm just going to, like, follow my whimsy.
It's a good point.
I totally buy that. I think, obviously, as an adult, I'm like, that's silly. Oh my god, what the hell do you think you're doing?
Stay with Hunter, for the love of God.
Yeah, but she's a kid. Like, I mean, like, when I was a kid, I took off all the time. I can't be one to talk.
You still do.
I just wander away.
It's like, where is she? You're also small, so it's hard for me to see you in a crowd.
Jesus Christ.
Not that we've been in a crowd in a year, but...
I think the biggest crowd we've been in was getting vaxxed.
Yeah.
Wild.
But then, even then, everyone was 6 feet apart, so it's really easy to...
Yeah.
So my question is, what do you think the chances are that she manages to keep that childlike wonder throughout this whole season?
I'm gonna say, I hope that she doesn't, but it's Disney.
Ooh, you didn't see Rebels. I'm gonna say she keeps it through season 1, like Ezra did, and then season 2
something's gonna happen. Look, something has to happen for the character to grow.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. You cannot stay a child forever. We've all learned that. And something's gonna happen. It just, I don't know. Sometimes Disney, I'm like, well, things always seem to, like, work out okay. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I have not seen Rebels. I've only watched a little bit of Clone Wars, so... Yeah, I think that Omega will have some consequences. Maybe not right away, but, like, coming up. Especially if she turns out to be Force sensitive.
Yeah, I you know what? It's been 4 episodes now. Mm. I don't think she will be.
But there's a reason, there's a reason Ming-Na Wen is after them, right? And
she's enhanced. I think that she's an enhanced clone, for sure. Okay. I definitely think she's an enhanced clone. Mm-hmm. So I saw someone online, I think it might have been Alex Damon from Stars Explained, say, like, postulate? Is that the right word? Throw out a theory that maybe she has all of the enhancements that the rest of them have. So she'll be strong like Wrecker, because she like nails that shot on Crosshair in the first episode, right? Yeah. And she learns to track from Hunter really quick to do the dragon. Mm-hmm. So they were like, what if she has all 4 of the clones enhancements and just is like the like super clone?
The ultimate human.
She is the like super Skrull of clones.
Right.
Yeah. It's like in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer when Johnny Storm manages to steal the powers of the other members of the Fantastic Four.
Wow, what a pull.
It's not a good movie, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
You know who's great in that movie, though? Johnny Storm. Chris Evans. Captain America.
Himself.
The former Captain America.
America's ass.
America's ass. Yeah, I don't know. I doing these spoiler chats is weird because we usually do them on shows that are like 8 episodes. So it's usually moving faster. This is going to be interesting because we haven't done a spoiler chat series like this for a show that is 16 episodes long.
Yeah, there's going to be more filler stuff.
We're going to be doing this for 4 months.
But we still somehow managed to talk for 20 minutes, so.
Oh, easy. I could talk about this for hours. I could talk about each scene.
I know.
I love this stuff.
I know, and that's why we do it. That's why we're here.
Yeah, I tweeted last night. I was like, I get to watch a new episode of The Bad Batch tomorrow. I was so excited. But we have to go buy a new computer. Because my MacBook is, she's struggling to edit videos.
Old.
So we're going to go do that. If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't like this video, hit the dislike button. And leave mean comments about us below, please. The algorithm god is hungry. And we must feed her.
We also stream over on Twitch. You can follow me over at twitch.tv/ClarsDakaris. And he's over at twitch.tv/NerdyNightly. Nerdy's broken. So, as always...
My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
Do something nerdy tonight, you dang nerds.
Bye, guys.
Bye.